Hello, everyone. How are you? How are you? How are you? How are you? This is episode number 83, I think. 83. I think last week was 82. And thank you so much for joining me. This is the TERRAN Lamb Show. Oh my goodness, my protein shake is over there. I'm gonna go grab it. And yeah, hold that thought. I'm gonna go grab my protein shake. All right, I'm back. This is episode number 83 of the TERRAN Lamb Show. Thank you so much for joining me. Remember, we are here every Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. My guest today is on PST, so 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And don't forget, if you'd like to sponsor the show, and getting a sponsorship is $25. And what that includes is a shout out at the beginning and the end of each show, or your show, should I say, the show you sponsor. And then in addition to that, you get 4 opportunities throughout the day of the show to showcase and to send me promo material for your business or service. So again, if you'd like to sponsor the show, please get a hold of me. So we will get, this is episode number 83, like I've said, of the TERRAN Lamb Show. And we are going to get my guest in, Miss Brandy. Hello? Hello? Brandy. Let's see. See if I can get you in. It keeps saying that you're requesting. And I say accept. There you are.
Hi.
Look at you. How are you?
I'm doing really good. Yeah.
I was thinking, like, I haven't seen you since the physically since the White House, right?
Yeah, that was, gosh, like what, 5 years ago? 5, 6 years
Yeah.
ago?
Let me see. Let me turn this up. So you're doing well. I know we've talked and all that good stuff. You're doing well. I want to not say, not say too much because I want you to be able to share your story, but you look great.
Oh, thank you. So do you. I love watching your show.
And it's such a pleasure to have you. We've been Heart Sisters for a long time, so I want you to share that journey. And, there's so much more that, of course, you already know that I love about, the journey you're on and the way you spread it, if you will. Because, I really applaud you for, what, you're going to get into that. So you know what I applaud you for. So let us hear your story. Let us hear your story. What's your journey?
Sure. Well, I'm an enrolled tribal member of the Iipay Nation of San Ysabel, and we're located in the mountains of San Diego. I've been in tribal politics about 18 years. And then my story started when I became pregnant when I was about 28. No, actually, no, I was 32. Take that back. I was in my 8th month and I wasn't feeling too good. It was my first pregnancy, so I didn't know if maybe, shortness of breath and not being able to sleep at night, being incredibly weak, that type of stuff was normal. So I went to the doctor, and out here we have Indian healthcare, which is provided by the federal government. And they pretty much told me, well, you're pregnant, kind of deal with it. They gave me, well, actually they prescribed an inhaler and some sleeping pills. And I knew, no, it's something more than that. So I went to my mom, and she took me to the hospital, which is, an hour away from here, and went to the emergency there. And the doctor there actually excused me as well. And he said, my wife is 8 months pregnant. This is how it is. Deal with it. He didn't take any blood. He didn't take any kind of measurements, nothing. And I was in a wheelchair. I was that weak. So they wheelchaired me back outside that Friday. That weekend, I literally was dying. I was completely in heart failure. By Monday, my mom said, let's take you to a better hospital. We'll take you down to San Diego. So that was, an hour and a half away. We went down there. They put me directly into the intensive care unit. There was a nurse that was monitoring Hunter, my son, because I was pregnant at the time, and another nurse monitoring me. Well, about 2 days I was in the intensive care unit. They drained, 20, 30 pounds of fluid off of me. And then Hunter's heart rate started to drop. So they decided I needed an emergency C-section. And I remember hearing over the loudspeaker, code blue, code blue. And I remember thinking, gosh, we need to pray for that family. And all of a sudden the doors flew open, and it was for me. I was code blue. Yeah, they took me in for the emergency C-section. I didn't even get to see him, but I prayed and said, let me just hear him cry. And I know that kind of sounds cliche, but he cried. They took him straight to the NICU unit. I didn't get to see him for at least 5 days. My mom took pictures of him, and I was taken back to the intensive care unit. So finally, about the 5th day, the nurse there threw a purple robe. I don't know where she got the purple robe on me, and wheelchair me down to the NICU unit to see him. And he was just this amazing little baby, jet black hair. He wouldn't open his eyes. They said it was like kitty eyes or something. And I'm like, please let him open his eyes. But he finally did. He was able to go home. He went home with my mom. Me and the dad had broken up when I was pregnant. So she took care of him for weeks on end. They finally let me go home. I still wasn't in good health. They did experimental medications, pacemaker defibrillator. I was so weak I couldn't even hold him. I couldn't pick him up like normal moms and put him on my hip and walk him around. And I see moms today do that, and I think, God, how do they know how lucky they are to be able to have the strength to do that? So about 2 years in, they evaluated me for a heart transplant. And so that was April. They put me on the list, April 2008. Hunter was only 2 years old. So I had other tribal members that have done Iipay ceremonies for cancer patients, actually. I had a good friend that was stage 4 cancer, and he did the Iipay ceremony, and he's with us today. So they asked, can we do that ceremony for you? And I said, I'll do anything. I felt like I was a candle with my light burning out. So we did the ceremony, and the medicine man asked, what do you pray for? What do you want? And I said, I just want to live long enough to see my son become a man. I'm not asking to be an elder. I'm not asking to grow old. Just let me live long enough till he's 18 and he joins the military or he goes to college, whatever he does. And the medicine man said, no, you're going to live. You're going to live. And 2 weeks later, I got my heart.
Wow, that was fast.
Yes. Yeah. I only waited. I was listed in April, and I got it Father's Day weekend. It was Friday the 13th. I didn't know it at the time. But,
yes.
Yeah.
So if you're just joining, this is the TERRAN Lamp Show, episode number 83. We've got Miss Brandy on the line, and she is sharing her story of survival. And she has just shared with us that she is a heart transplant recipient. So much more to come. We're going to finish out the episode right now, but just want to let you know, in case you're just joining, make sure you're liking, following, subscribing, sharing, all that good stuff. So Brandy, so tell us a little bit about, like, okay, you got it, right? And first of all, that's a huge, scary, all those things. But then you're in the midst of this, you're trying to be a mom.
Oh yeah, a single mom too, to top it off. Yeah.
A single. So, and then, one of the things, just for the folks that just are joining, so I've always been impressed with the way you hold down, you share your culture, and you stay true to that. Hey, Tyra, and so I guess give me a little bit about staying true to that, being a mom, a single mom, and dealing with a heart transplant, because I just get this, gosh, there's so many ways to waver. You know what I mean? And one thing I'm impressed with you, and you're raising just, first of all, you guys, her son is like the most handsome thing ever.
Oh.
Like she said, jet black hair and just a handsome young man. But give us a little bit about that journey, as far as, maybe what you were going through as a patient, what you were going through within your tribe, and what you were going through as a mom.
Well, the whole time I actually was serving on our tribal council, which with tribes, we have our own government, which operates pretty much like the governments of the county and the state. We take care of roads, housing, elders, youth, all that. So
a lot of ability.
Yeah. So on top, yeah, I know I was in the intensive care unit. I begged my mom for my laptop, and she wouldn't give it to me. And she's like, you got to rest. So I dealt with that. But truly, my culture is what saved me. If I didn't have that ceremony, I don't believe I would have lived that long for my heart. Because when they had the ceremony, 2 weeks later, I was in the hospital, and literally the doctor says, you have days to live. So I wrote out, at 34 years old, I wrote out my funeral arrangements, all of the ceremonies that we have to do when we pass away. I wrote down phone numbers of people to help. So in our way, when someone passes away, another family takes care of everything. So my mom would just give this list to another family that wasn't related, and they'd be able to call the singers, the grave diggers, everything. So at 32, I did that. And then I wrote letters to Hunter, just funny letters, stories of me when, being 18, that type of stuff, and waited. And then it was like on a super late at night, a doctor came in, he's all, we have a match, and that happened to be Friday the 13th. So, but after that, it was difficult in the beginning, because, it's a lot of medications that you take, a lot of immune suppression drugs, anti-rejection drugs, just a lot of medicine. But I remember thinking, I hope I get to be strong enough to be able to dance again. And luckily, you know, I am. We go to gatherings gosh, during the summer, we're gone every weekend from not only Southern California, we go to Nevada, we go to Arizona. My son sings everywhere. When he dances too, we play a traditional game at night. It's a hand game. And we just have a lot of fun. And that's what really has kept going.
That's where you are, right? That's where you are, having a lot. I mean, I just think, like I said, I've always just been truly, you know, impressed with that of you. And I always am very, you know, it just makes me think in the ways that people can waver. I just know you've stood fast in a lot of things. And I think that's, you know, amazing, right? And you've stood fast in what you believe in, and you've stood fast, and you've been so strong, you know, to be a single mom, and, you know, just a heart transplant in general. I had, you know, I'm telling my friends today, I was telling some of them, make sure you get on to listen to your story, because I think that that's, you know, just so empowering. And then to raise a son, you know, and not only did you raise him, you raised him with the same, from what I see of him, strong beliefs, right?
Yes.
Like, and so going through all that, I think it's just, you know, amazing. And like I was asking you before, sounds like you also had a lot of responsibility on your shoulders, not just from your son, but you were serving on boards and councils at the time.
Yeah, and then, you know, I never thought I'd live long enough to see him go to school. And he went to the same school now that I went to, my parents went to, my grandparents went to. It's a tiny little school.
Cool.
And so I ran for the school board over there. Never thought I would do that. And I was able to serve there for about 6 years. And, you know, I've served on other boards too. So I've been able to do a lot of things that, you know, when I was truly sick for those 2 years, you know, just getting up and doing laundry took all my energy, you know, just taking a shower. I mean, it was really hard, really hard. And Hunter, he started walking when he was 10 months old. You know, he was crawling super early. So he was kind of having to live on, he's very independent, had to live on survival mode, I guess you'd say. So, yeah.
But I mean, you know, like you said, I mean, you were a survivor yourself. So he got it honestly, you know, he got it from you, you know, I think passing down that ethic and that survival mode. I'm sure you passed it down, you know, to him naturally as a mama, mom.
Well, he's surrounded by some good men. I mean, his father actually is a traditional bird singer from a neighboring tribe, and you know, he's in his life too. So he has that. He has a godfather that's a singer. You know, he's around singers all the time, and he's part of a group called A Shot to Cook, and his teacher, his leader is Ralph Christman. He's from the Viajes tribe, and so you know, those guys keep him grounded as well too. But another thing I was going to say is that being part of Women Heart has just been an amazing experience, being able to travel to Washington, D.C., speak there, and then also other places they've flown me. And just my main message is to let them know that there are Native Americans still around. We're not just in history books. And, you know, healthcare for us is supposed to be guaranteed, you know, according to all the federal acts and all the treaties. But it's the quality of healthcare that, you know, Native Americans need. So, yeah, spreading that message and, you know, letting them know that we're still here and, you know, and we need better healthcare. So.
Yeah. I mean, I think like you said, I mean, it's like I was saying before, it's standing true to that, right? And saying that here's what we need. And I like that we're still here, you know?
Yeah.
Because, and I guess that's what I mean by standing true, right? Like you could have, I mean, you went through so much, you know. I feel like you've always been to me your authentic Native American self.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I also work with Donate Life too, and I've been able to travel to the Gathering of Nations in New Mexico, which is the largest powwow of the whole, out of all the United States. And one of the founders of that powwow is, I believe she's a liver transplant recipient. So they always honor us when we're there, which is so amazing, you know, to be honored in this huge arena with, you know, tribes from all over, you know, the United States there. So that's been fun. And yeah, just bringing more awareness. There are some tribes that are in Arizona, I believe, and New Mexico that don't believe in heart transplants. They don't believe in any kind of transplant. They believe you have to be buried whole. So, you know, just trying to tell my story. And I also work with other Donate Life people from New Mexico and, you know, just getting our story out there. And, you know, it's their culture, their traditions too. So, you know, we'll see what happens.
So different kind of people maybe believe in different kind of things, if you will, and it all, you know.
Yeah, there's over 500 tribes in the United
Okay.
States. So, and all of us have, different languages, songs, creation stories, all that. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
right here where I'm at, I'm on the San Ysabel Reservation, and just, 15 minutes down the road is Los Coyotes, and their language and their songs are completely different.
Okay.
And then down the road, another half hour, the Liseños, and they're completely different too.
But I think, I think everybody is probably teaching and learning, a lot of teaching for me. I feel like I said, I mean, I learn from you when you post and when you, say things, and to your point of the singing, like, just, I see the things you post about your son and what he does and what he's involved in. And, again, growing him to be a leader. It seems to me growing him to be a leader in the tribe,
Yeah,
um,
I think he will.
you think he will?
I mean, it's very different out here. Like, just, he's going to be singing with his cousin, Ryan, at the end of this. And they, when they decide to be bird singers, they sacrifice a lot. They miss out on a lot. Just
Mm-hmm.
the past 2 weekends, they've been singing at all-night wakes, singing at funerals, and they're 16 and 17.
Can you tell me what that means to be a bird singer?
The songs are thousands and thousands of years old. There's
Mm-hmm.
over, like, one cycle is 300 songs. So
Mm.
to take that, that commitment at such a young age,
Yeah.
it's pretty amazing. I know some other singers who started off when they were teenagers too. They missed out on football games, proms, all that, because they were called away, and they really can't say no. So
Okay.
yeah, so it's a huge commitment. But what is amazing now is that our young people are just loving our culture. They're all wanting to
Yeah.
learn. It's just this revitalization is amazing. It wasn't like that when I was growing up. My mom's generation wasn't taught from her mom's generation. It was taught to be not proud. So, and that comes from, residential schools. That comes from intergenerational trauma. And there's just a ton of stuff that the tribes went through. So,
I guess that's what I mean. Like, that's what I wanted to know, like the commitment and, hello, Sharon and Phil. There's a couple people on here. Hello, guys. Again, this is the TERRAN Lamp Show, episode number 83 with Miss Brandy, sharing with us her heart journey and also sharing with us a little bit about the Native American culture and teaching us a little bit there with herself and her son. So I guess that's what I was asking, like the commitment, and it seems like that, wow, over 300 songs to learn at that age. You know what I mean? Like you said, seems like, and being called upon, depending on the situation, to go there. It seems like they could be probably called at a moment's notice, or, at a short notice, and then carrying up that commitment of their culture. Again, like I said, between heart disease and heart transplant and culture, that's where, you've always been. What are some of the, it's Cousin Phil.
Oh, I see. I have a couple of tribal members on here.
Cousin Phil, how are you? Thank you for joining us. So tell us a little bit about maybe some of the obstacles, maybe that, I know single mom, heart transplant, but maybe some other obstacles that people may not, obviously know or think about that you've had to overcome. And then what would you share with someone who might be in that same situation to overcome those?
Well, definitely you have to be your own advocate, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just looking back and thinking about, going to Indian Health, and I should have been more assertive and said, no, this is, but, it's hard because, in our culture too, the women have to be strong. My mom had, 5 kids, and even she was kind of like, suck it up, you're pregnant, that's it. But she knew something was seriously wrong. And I really have to give her credit for saving my life and taking me to the hospital in San Diego. Cause yeah, I was at just very, complete heart failure at that time. I mean, I was hooked up to everything. So, but yeah, to be your own advocate, learn about your family history. I know my family history. On my mom's side, everyone has died from heart disease, heart attacks, heart failure, all that. So just to make sure you know that. And then, like I said, just be your own advocate. Look for second opinions. Don't be afraid to ask for second opinions.
I like that one too. Be your own.
Yeah, definitely.
The second opinion one. I like that one as well.
Yeah, because with doctors, a lot of us are intimidated by them. And after what I've went through, my mom right now is dealing with back issues, and she's in the hospital and a rehab center. And so I'm with her all the time when we have to meet with doctors, because, I tell her we deserve the best healthcare, Mom. We do. you know, and so that's why I make sure that I'm an advocate for her. I speak up when she doesn't. And so, yeah, I tell women now, just definitely be your own advocate. Take your family members in there with you. That's one thing is I had a huge family support. I would not have been able to do any of this without them. I have there's three sisters and a brother. So they all helped me out, definitely. And cousins too.
Yeah, I mean, I think I tell people that too, that be your own advocate thing, because it's so, especially for us women, right? Like we are so, we're strong, but sometimes we are also, we do everything for everybody else.
Oh yeah, definitely.
We talk about that in Women Hurt, like we do everything for everyone else, and then we forget about, taking care of ourselves, because we're so busy taking care of, our whatever it is, right? Our kids, our spouses, our other family members, when we forget and neglect ourselves until it's late, and then we're, out of luck,
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
So I tell people that too. They need to, really be their own advocate and speak up for themselves. And then I just love that you had and still have, hopefully, family support, because I'm sure, tell us a little bit about what life is like now, because you're so far out, but still, I'm sure you think about it every day at the same time.
Yeah, well, I'll be 14 years out on June 13th of this year.
Wow.
And they say like average heart transplant recipients live about 20 years. So that's always in the back of my mind. That's why when my son wants to do something, or we hear like there's a celebration going on, I'm like, let's go get in the car. We'll grab a couple of his friends or whoever needs a ride and we'll go. So yeah, 14 years. I can't believe it's me 14 years, but it's still, like I said, it's a lot of medicine, a lot of follow-ups, a lot of doctor appointments, but I'm used to it now, and I know that's what's keeping me alive, and hopefully I'll live more than the 20 years. There's so many different medications out, different procedures, so just hoping that. And I have an amazing team.
I think your spirit is a lot of it.
Oh, thanks.
You know what I mean? Like, you have good energy. You know what I mean? So I'm sure you bring good energy to yourself as well, not just to those around you, but your body literally has good energy, if you will. So I think to me, that's at least some, if not half the battle, is having that positive energy. And to your point, saying, yeah, let's do this, right? Like not, what's the word, suppressing, the fun, and saying, hey, yeah, Hunter, let's get on the road. Let's do this. Let's do that. And seeing him have fun, I'm sure it gives you the energy. And then seeing his friends and his cousins and, like, I think you told me, did you tell me about dating or something? But is he dating, or did I say that? Did I make that up?
He was dating a local girl for a little bit, and then they broke up. But
yeah, that makes me nervous, but yeah.
I was ready for that. But he actually was crowned homecoming junior prince, and his really good friend, her name's Beverly, she's from a local tribe too, was princess, and so he played football. This is his first time in junior year to play football, so they got to ride in a little parade and stuff around. So that was fun. I never thought like having a boy, like being a prince or something like that. I figured maybe a girl, but yeah. And he's so nonchalant about it. He goes, oh, Mom, remember what Beverly's talking about? Yeah, I kind of won. So I know. But so that was a fun experience.
And you said he's playing, because didn't he come here to play? Or he was gonna come here to play football. Somebody came here to play football?
No. What's so crazy is that when you talk to me, Ashafta, the group that he sings with, we're in Chicago for a powwow.
The singing, okay, the singing.
Yeah, and we couldn't make it, but I was like, that would have been so awesome though if we did. So hopefully maybe next year we'll go with them.
You'll make it here. Let's see. Someone says, just because they say 20 years after surgery, you're not the average, and you will be the new example of living longer. That's what I say.
That's nice.
You're the new example. That's what I say too. And I think your mind, your heart, and your spirit are going to take you there. So we're going to get to the Hunter in just a second. But I have one more question for you, Brandy. And for everyone listening, make sure you're liking, following, sharing, subscribing. This is going to be on my IGTV. It's going to be on Brandy's IG, and it's going to be on Apple Podcast and YouTube. Make sure you're doing all those things, liking, following, subscribing, sharing, all those good things. This is episode number 83 of the TERRAN Show. And Brandy, So you watch some of my episodes, and I always ask this question at the very, very end. What are you curious about? Anything?
Wow. I mean, right now with what's going on over, with Russia and Ukraine, it's making me nervous. An elder had actually told me when I had Hunter that our tribes are getting ready for war, and a lot of boys are born at the same time. So that makes me worry. He's 16. He'll be a senior next year. And I just hope that, he doesn't see that in his lifetime. So, even us growing up, in the 90s, we went through, a desert storm and our men being sent over to Afghanistan, that type of stuff. I just don't want him to go through that. So just pray a lot for the countries over there to have peace.
Yeah, just praying and just curious about the future, what all that looks like. So Leanne, I hope I'm saying it right. Leanne says, whoop, whoop.
Oh, that's another one of my friends.
I hope I'm saying that right, Leanne.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us. So now we are going to get to Hunter and share with us a little bit about what he and his cousin. Yeah, it's a little dark. I don't know if you.
Yeah, let me. I'm going to turn on. Oh, the sun just went down over here, so let me turn on.
Share, or maybe he can come on and share with us what he's going to sing and tell us about it. Tell us the background.
Yeah, he's with his cousin Ryan. Ryan stays with us a lot at the house, so it's like a second son to me. I'm going to grab them really fast. Okay.
And Leanne says Brandy is with little smiley face with stars.
Oh. Okay. Are you guys ready? Okay. Do it. One, just stand right there. In front of that.
I know, right, Leanne? Beautiful.
Hi, how's it going?
Hunter, is this you?
No, this is Ryan. This is our cousin Ryan, and he's a part of the shot cook. His dad is their teacher.
Ryan, Hunter, that's Hunter. Yes, I was like Hunter. Hunter, look at you guys. You guys are handsome.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
No pressure. No pressure. This is going to be on Apple Podcast and YouTube, and you guys look handsome. Tell us a little bit about what you're going to sing for us.
It's pretty much about the origin of our story, about the Ashata cook and the bird, and how it was first given to us by the bird itself, and the coyote was involved, and other animals who've given our songs first that may have contributed in a mean way or in a greedy way. So now our group is called the Shots Cook because of that reason. It's because of the bird who wasn't as greedy in our stories, who given us our songs. So yeah.
So I'm going to tell you. So Leanne says, "Hey guys, when you guys finish, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to go off on this. So when you guys finish, Brandy, I'm going to give you a call. But I just want to finish with this without kind of a lot of other extra at the end once they finish, okay? And I'm going to close out. I'm going to give you a call, Brandy. So just let me know you're done, and then we'll just close out and say goodbye. Okay, go ahead, gentlemen. Thank you."
Thank you.
This is the Taryn Lamb Show, episode number 83. Be good to yourself and each other. See you next week. Bye-bye. Thank you.